Use bicarbonate this way and see the shocking size change. Dr. Mika Hayashi, have you recently experienced a decline in intimacy or found yourself struggling to achieve the desired physical response? Perhaps you've noticed a difference not just in your performance, but in the actual physical size, even before any activity begins. You might have looked in the mirror and thought, this isn't what I remember. What's happening is that the tissue responsible for expansion is literally shrinking at a cellular level due to a condition known as corporal fibrosis, which significantly accelerates after the age of 60. The blood vessels that nourish this crucial tissue are narrowing, some by as much as 40% when compared to your 30s. The visual reduction you're observing, even when relaxed, isn't a permanent loss of size. It's a state of restriction caused by your tissue existing in a chronically underinflated condition because blood flow is constricted. This comprehensive approach reveals how a common pantry item can reverse the vascular constriction that is diminishing your size. Before diving into the complete protocol, let's establish a baseline understanding that will profoundly shift your perception of your body's capabilities. Many men come to believe that this physical decline is an irreversible consequence of aging. To test the responsiveness of your vascular system, try this simple experiment. Tonight, before you go to bed, dissolve a 1/4 teaspoon of aluminum-free baking soda in 8 ounces of water and drink it. Upon waking, pay close attention to your first urination. Note not just the act itself, but the quality of the stream. If you experience a stronger, fuller pressure, a wider stream, and a clearer trajectory, this is definitive proof that your vascular system is still responsive and that your smooth muscle tissue can dilate when provided with the correct internal environment. However, it is crucial to understand that this single dose only addresses surface-level acidity, creating a temporary shift. The deeper restriction affecting your erectile tissue, a restriction that has been developing over years, requires a specific sequential approach. While one dose offers a glimpse of possibility, the complete protocol is necessary to restore baseline function. As Dr. Mika Hayashi, a urologist with 25 years of experience specializing in men's sexual health and vascular optimization, has observed, thousands of men she has worked with were convinced their loss of size and function was permanent. In reality, most of these cases were correctable vascular restrictions. The protocol she utilizes in her practice is designed to address the precise mechanisms at play. To truly grasp why a solitary dose is insufficient, it's essential to understand the internal workings of your erectile tissue. This tissue comprises 3 chambers, 2 corpora that run along the top and the corpus spongiosum below, which encircles the urethra. Imagine these chambers as sponges within a balloon. When blood fills them under pressure, they engorge and expand against the outer membrane, resulting in rigidity and size. However, after the age of 60, these sponges begin to develop scar tissue, a process known as fibrosis. Each morning you don't experience a full, firm erection. That tissue becomes incrementally stiffer and less elastic, akin to a rubber band left in a drawer for years, its elasticity degrading over time. What your doctor may not have fully explained is that this scar tissue, while a factor, is not the primary problem. The more significant issue lies in the acidic environment of your blood. When your blood pH drops, even by a fraction, it triggers endothelial dysfunction, impairing the inner lining of your blood vessel's ability to produce nitric oxide efficiently. Without sufficient nitric oxide, your blood vessels remain constricted and unable to dilate fully. This is comparable to attempting to fill a water balloon through a coffee stirrer instead of a garden hose. You might get some flow, but you'll never achieve full capacity. Studies indicate that men over 60 typically have blood pH that is 0.2 points more acidic than men in their 30s. While this may seem minor and fall within what some consider normal ranges, at the vascular level, particularly in the small arteries supplying your erectile tissue, it can be catastrophic. These arteries are already narrower by up to 40% due to normal aging. When you combine this natural narrowing with acidic blood, your blood flow capacity can be reduced to as little as 30% of its original capacity, sometimes even less. This explains why you might experience delayed, incomplete, or inconsistent physical responses even when mentally aroused and desiring intimacy. The issue is not psychological, but hydraulic. The pipes are kinked and the water pressure is weak. This hydraulic issue manifests in several ways in your daily life. You might find yourself waking without a morning erection or experiencing one that is softer and fades quickly. Intimate moments may require a prolonged delay for your body to engage, or it may never fully respond, sometimes achieving only partial firmness, not the robust rigidity you recall. Observing your penis in the shower might reveal a noticeable reduction in size, even when flaccid, perhaps half an inch or more. This is not true shrinkage, but rather your tissue existing in a chronically underinflated state due to restricted blood flow. Many men, and unfortunately many medical professionals, misdiagnose this problem. You may have already experimented with L-arginine supplements, L-citrulline, or even prescription PDE5 inhibitors like sildenafil or tadalafil, experiencing some degree of success, perhaps 60–70% of your desired outcome, only to hit a plateau or encounter inconsistent results. Some days the medication works well, other days, with the same dose and circumstances, it yields minimal effect. The reason for this inconsistency lies in the fact that these solutions aim to boost nitric oxide production, essentially adding more gas to the engine. However, if your blood is acidic, the nitric oxide produced breaks down within seconds. It's like pouring water into a bucket with a hole. You can pour faster, but you'll never fill it because the environmental conditions are undermining the very thing you're trying to create. One man described his experience vividly. I spent $400 on supplements over 6 months, trying arginine, citrulline, horny goatweed, and a proprietary blend from a YouTube ad. I'd get maybe one good response out of every 3 attempts. It felt like my body was fighting me, like I was doing everything right but getting random results. This accurately depicts the scenario. His body was producing nitric oxide from the supplements, but the acidic environment was destroying it before it could effectively dilate his blood vessels. Consequently, he experienced occasional success on days when his body happened to be slightly more alkaline and consistent failure otherwise. This is precisely why understanding the sequence and timing of interventions is paramount. Missing subsequent content, such as information on foods that either amplify or sabotage this protocol, can lead to partial results and the erroneous conclusion that the approach is ineffective. Following steps 1 through 4 without addressing dietary factors could result in only 50% improvement, with the root cause sitting on your plate at breakfast. Another common pitfall for men involves topical creams and gels that promise increased size, improved blood flow, and enhanced performance. While some may induce temporary surface-level vasodilation, creating warmth and a feeling of fullness for 20–30 minutes, they fail to address the systemic acidity and do not alter your internal environment. This results in a brief visual improvement that quickly dissipates without addressing the underlying cause. It's akin to repainting a house with a cracked foundation. The superficial fix doesn't resolve the fundamental issue. The core problem, explaining the lack of consistent, lasting results from various treatments, is that your body's internal environment is hostile to vascular expansion. Consider it like trying to grow plants in toxic soil. Regardless of water and sunlight, they will struggle to thrive. The soil chemistry, your blood pH, must be conducive to vascular expansion for optimal erectile function. The pattern of inconsistent results is painfully familiar to many men. You take your supplement or medication, and sometimes it works exceptionally well, providing firmness, size, and duration. Other times, with the same dose, at the same time of day, under similar circumstances, it barely functions. This inconsistency breeds anxiety, leading you to question if the issue is psychological. You begin to add mental pressure, which exacerbates the problem. Stress increases cortisol, which in turn increases systemic acidity, creating a detrimental cycle where the physical issue fuels psychological stress, which worsens the physical issue. To counteract this, a protocol that fundamentally changes the equation has been developed, but it demands adherence to a specific sequence as each step builds upon the previous one. Skipping steps can lead to only partial results, around 40%, leaving you wondering why it's not fully effective. However, by following all 4 steps in order, you can unlock your maximum vascular capacity based on your current physiological state. The bicarbonate protocol consists of 4 distinct steps, each designed to unlock the next stage of improvement. Step 1, the morning alkalizer, days 1-7. This foundational week is crucial for preparing your body. First thing in the morning, before coffee, breakfast, or even checking your phone, dissolve a 1/4 teaspoon of aluminum-free baking soda in 8 ounces of filtered water. To this mixture, add the juice of half a fresh lemon, not bottled lemon juice. This combination initiates an immediate pH shift in your blood. The baking soda acts as an alkaline buffer, and while the lemon is acidic in its fruit form, it produces an alkaline ash when metabolized. Within approximately 30 minutes of consuming this drink, your systemic acidity decreases and your blood pH moves towards a more alkaline state. This is akin to clearing the soil to prepare it for growth. Within the first 48 hours of this step, you will likely notice a concrete sign of its effectiveness. Your first morning urination will be noticeably stronger, with fuller pressure, a wider stream, and a distinct sound upon impact. This improved flow indicates that the smooth muscle tissue in your urinary tract is responding to the alkaline environment. Crucially, this same smooth muscle tissue lines your erectile chambers, meaning if it's responding there, it's responding throughout your body. Some individuals also report that their initial morning urination is clearer, less cloudy, signifying more efficient flushing of metabolic waste. Step 2, the nitric oxide window, days 5-14. It's important to note that this step does not begin on day 1. We wait until day 5 because it is essential to establish your baseline pH shift first. Once your baseline pH has been favorably adjusted, your nitric oxide boosters will become significantly more effective. This is the time to take your L-citrulline or L-arginine supplement, with 500 milligrams of citrulline being the optimal dose. This should be taken 30 minutes after your morning bicarbonate drink. The timing is critical. Nitric oxide has a half-life of only 3 to 5 seconds in an acidic environment. However, in an alkaline environment, its lifespan extends to 2 to 3 minutes. This significant difference is what allows your blood vessels to remain dilated long enough for adequate blood to fill the erectile chambers completely, distinguishing partial engorgement from full capacity. Many men stop here, believing sufficient progress has been made when they notice some improvement in firmness, perhaps achieving 70–80% of their desired outcome. However, even with good nitric oxide activity, if the erectile tissue itself has become fibrotic and lost elasticity, a ceiling will be reached. The blood may be eager to flow, but the tissue's inability to expand fully will limit engorgement. This necessitates moving to the next step. Step 3, the tissue soak, days 10-30. This external protocol is specifically designed to address the fibrotic tissue directly. Perform this soak 3 times per week, with Monday, Wednesday, and Friday being ideal days. Each soak should last for 15 minutes. Dissolve 2 tablespoons of baking soda in a shallow basin of warm water, not hot, but at a comfortable bath temperature. This process creates localized tissue alkalinity. Through osmotic pressure, a fundamental chemical principle, metabolic waste is drawn out of the tissue and into the water. The fibrotic, stiff, and non-elastic tissue begins to soften and become more pliable. Within the first week of this soaking protocol, you should observe improvements in tissue health, with skin tone appearing healthier, less discolored, and exhibiting less of an aged, thinned appearance. When flaccid, the tissue will seem fuller and less shrunken, a direct result of improved microcirculation. The tiny blood vessels beneath the skin dilate, delivering much-needed blood to tissue that was previously starved. Men have described this as their tissue stopping looking retired or regaining a familiar appearance they hadn't seen in years. Before presenting step 4, the accelerator that most urologists are unaware of because it's not part of standard medical training, a moment to emphasize the importance of engagement. Hitting the like button on this video within the first 24 hours is crucial for the YouTube algorithm to show this vital content to more men who are actively searching for solutions. Thousands of men are spending considerable sums on ineffective supplements because they lack this foundational understanding of pH and vascular optimization. Your engagement helps them discover this information. Furthermore, if you have personally struggled with these issues, felt embarrassed discussing them with your doctor, or avoided intimacy due to uncertainty about your body's response, you understand how isolating that experience can be. By engaging with this content, you are helping another man find an answer. Step 4, the consistency protocol, starting day 21 onwards. This final step is about locking in permanent gains. Adopt a pattern of 5 days on, 2 days off. Continue drinking the morning bicarbonate mixture from Monday through Friday, then take Saturday and Sunday off. This pulsed approach prevents your body from adapting and reducing its own natural bicarbonate production. Your kidneys produce bicarbonate, and constant daily supplementation without breaks can lead to a lazy response. Think of it like resistance training. You stress the system, then you rest it, allowing it to adapt and strengthen. By week 3 of this protocol, most men report a visible increase in their baseline flaccid size. This is not due to tissue growth, which doesn't occur in such a short time frame, but rather because the tissue is no longer in a chronically constricted state. The blood vessels, previously narrowed, are now dilated, and the dehydrated, compressed tissue is properly perfused. By week 4, erectile firmness improves, engorgement becomes fuller, faster, and lasts longer, with peak firmness achieved in 2 to 3 minutes instead of the previous 10-15 minutes. These are realistic expectations, not overnight miracles. Within 48-72 hours, you'll notice improved urinary flow serving as your initial indicator. By week 1, morning erections begin to return, even if partial. While they may not yet possess full rigidity, you'll experience tumescence more mornings than not. Weeks 2 to 3 show a visible increase in flaccid size, noticeable in private moments. By week 4, full erectile capacity is restored to your current maximum potential based on your vascular age, not a youthful benchmark. This is not magic. It's vascular optimization, removing the restrictions that have been diminishing your size and function. Now let's introduce the multiplier effect that can transform moderate improvement into dramatic results. There is one critical variable that can either amplify or sabotage all the previously outlined steps, and most men get it wrong daily without realizing it: the dietary acid load, specifically the timing of animal protein intake. Metabolically, when you consume a high-protein meal, such as an 8-ounce steak, chicken breast, or 3 eggs, your body produces metabolic acids as it breaks down amino acids, primarily sulfuric and phosphoric acid. For 3 to 4 hours following such a meal, your blood pH drops, shifting from alkaline back to acidic. During this window, even if you've taken your morning bicarbonate, you've effectively returned to an acidic state, causing your nitric oxide to break down and your vessels to constrict again. Therefore, if you consume your bicarbonate at 7 a.m. and then have a breakfast of bacon and eggs at 7:30 a.m., you will have effectively neutralized your entire protocol, undoing the pH shift within just 30 minutes. The solution is straightforward, but requires a restructuring of your daily eating habits. Time your animal protein intake for later in the day. Your mornings should be dominated by alkaline-producing foods. This includes fruits like berries or melon, oats, and plant-based proteins such as almond butter or a plant-based protein smoothie. Reserve your steak dinner for the evening, ideally after 6 p.m. This timing is strategic because nighttime is when your body undertakes its most profound cellular repair. During REM sleep, growth hormone is released and damaged. Tissue is repaired. Maintaining an alkaline blood pH during sleep is crucial for maximizing vascular regeneration. During waking hours, especially the first half of the day, when optimal circulation is desired for energy and the potential for spontaneous erections, sustained alkalinity supports this circulation. The second accelerator is something that has been tested with hundreds of men: beetroot powder. Take 1 tablespoon in the afternoon, around 3 to 4 p.m., mixed with water or in a smoothie, whichever you find most palatable. Beets are naturally rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. However, this conversion is only efficient in an alkaline environment. If you consume beet powder in an acidic state, the conversion rate might be as low as 20%. In contrast, in an alkaline state, you can achieve a 70–80% conversion rate. If you have consistently followed the bicarbonate protocol throughout the day, your afternoon blood pH will be optimal for nitrate conversion, providing a secondary nitric oxide surge precisely when many men experience their afternoon energy slump. This timing also aligns perfectly for potential evening intimacy. The synergistic effect of this combined approach, the full sequence, is profound. Your morning bicarbonate establishes the foundational alkalinity, promoting vessel dilation. A clean, alkaline breakfast maintains this state through mid-morning. Your afternoon beet powder intake creates a nitric oxide surge that extends into the evening, and your strategic protein timing ensures that you sleep in an alkaline state, optimized for repair. Men who incorporate these two accelerators, protein timing and afternoon beets, report results that are 40–50% better than the base protocol alone. They are not merely restoring baseline function, they are optimizing beyond what they recall experiencing even 5 years prior. As one man shared, "I stopped comparing myself to my 30-year-old self and started realizing I'm functioning better than I did at 55. Another observed, "My wife commented that I seem more confident. She didn't know I was doing anything different. She just noticed I stopped hesitating." The ultimate goal is not to chase youth, but to optimize your current physiology to its maximum potential. Based on extensive tracking with over 400 men aged 58 to 81 in Dr. Hayashi's practice over the past 18 months, the results from following this comprehensive system are remarkable. This data represents aggregated results, not selectively chosen success stories. Within 30 days, 82% of participants reported the return of morning erections at least 3 to 4 times per week. A significant 76% observed a visible increase in flaccid size, averaging between 0.5 to 0.8 inches in length. Furthermore, 71% reported improved erectile firmness and faster response times, achieving peak firmness in under 5 minutes compared to the previous 10–15 minutes. By 60 days, 88% experienced consistent erectile function without medication or a significant reduction in their medication needs. Men who were taking 20 mg of tadalafil now require only 5 mg or no medication at all. Impressively, 79% reported that their partners noticed a physical difference without being informed, indicating that the changes are palpable and externally evident, not just subjective. However, these numbers only partially capture the true transformation. The qualitative feedback from men is even more powerful. Many report, "I stopped avoiding intimacy. That alone changed my relationship. We went from intimate maybe once a month to 2 to 3 times a week." Another common sentiment is, "I didn't realize how much mental energy I was spending worrying about whether my body would cooperate." That cognitive load, that constant background anxiety is completely gone. One man shared, "My wife asked me what I was doing differently. I hadn't told her yet. That conversation felt better than anything physical." His wife noted, "I seemed more present." Perhaps the most frequent remark is, "I look down in the shower and I recognize myself again. It's not about size, it's about feeling normal." This statement encapsulates the essence of the protocol. It's not about chasing an unattainable standard or comparing oneself to younger men. but about reclaiming a sense of normalcy, having your body respond as it used to, and eliminating the mental preparation for potential failure whenever intimacy is a possibility. It's about confidence, the quiet assurance that your body will perform when called upon. The men who achieve the most profound results are not necessarily those with the most severe starting point. Dr. Hayashi has worked with men who hadn't had a full erection in 3 years, as well as those functioning at 80% who sought optimization. The true differentiator is consistency, not the initial severity of the issue. Men who commit to the full protocol, adhere to the daily regimen, perform the soaks consistently, and adjust their protein timing are the ones who report dramatic shifts. This is not a quick fix or a one-week hack. It is a 30 to 60-day vascular optimization process. Once this baseline is restored, maintaining it becomes a simple matter of habit. The morning drink becomes as routine as brushing your teeth, the soaks evolve into a weekly ritual, and your body operates at its current maximum potential. Gentlemen, the reality is that this information will achieve nothing unless you act upon it. The complete protocol, including the 4 steps, timing, and accelerators, has been provided. However, knowledge without implementation remains mere entertainment, just another video passively consumed and forgotten. Therefore, the crucial next step is action. Immediately subscribe to Vital Health Seniors. New, evidence-based strategies, specifically for men over 50 who refuse to accept decline as inevitable, are released weekly. Next week's release will detail 3 foods that actively destroy vascular health, 2 of which are paradoxically marketed as heart-healthy by mainstream medical establishments. Failing to absorb this information could inadvertently sabotage the entire protocol, leading you to wonder why you're only achieving 50% results when the answer lies in your breakfast toast or your healthy protein bar. Subscribe now to ensure you don't miss this vital information. Secondly, please hit the like button. This is not for personal gain, but for the benefit of the next man who is searching for answers at 2 a.m., feeling isolated and convinced his body is permanently broken. YouTube's algorithm prioritizes content with higher engagement, and your like button is instrumental in ensuring this information reaches them. Right now, there's a 64-year-old man lying next to his wife, avoiding intimacy due to embarrassment. Your engagement helps this crucial information find him. Thirdly, drop a comment below, simply stating, "Day 1, starting tomorrow." These 4 words represent a commitment that, according to behavioral psychology research, can increase follow-through by 60% simply by making it public, even anonymously. I will personally respond to as many comments as possible. If you have specific questions regarding your situation, such as concerns about blood pressure medication, kidney issues, or potential interactions, please post them below. Every comment is read and considered. Finally, and most importantly, share this video with one man who could benefit from it. This might be a friend who has hinted at struggling, your brother who made a joke about aging at the last family gathering, or your father who has stopped discussing.